Wow, what's good, family? It's me, Coach 67 Sports TV. Shout out to the amazing LDBC, Lions Den Boxing community. Before we go any further in the video, like the video, share the video, click the notification bell, and subscribe to the channel. Video for the day is the fight between Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Bud Crawford for undisputed in the welterweight division. Some sites are reporting that the fight is close to being done. However, others are reporting that there's still some ways to go in terms of finalizing the fight. Evidently, the last reports that I saw is basically saying that Steven Espinoza really wasn't willing to put out the money to get the fight done. They was only willing to give Terrence Crawford, from what I'm understanding, 20 million, like 15 for this particular fight if he wins, and 5 million to fight Charlo for undisputed at junior middleweight. So he would only get $20 million for fighting for undisputed at welterweight, and then moving up to junior middleweight and get another 5 million. So 20 million in total, 15 and 5, which doesn't really seem to make sense. It's a low ball offer if I ever heard of one. It's the biggest fight in the sport of boxing. I don't see what the holdup is. To me, it seems as if they would more than make their money back. However, I don't know, because for Canelo, every platform, whether it was Showtime, whether it was ESPN, The Zone, whoever, they have a bag of money for Canelo. However, when it comes down to the biggest fight in the sport of boxing, there doesn't seem to be enough money, which I don't understand. I disagree with that notion, with that premise, especially the whole narrative that black fighters don't sell. Despite what anyone may say or may think, I'm almost 100% certain that the fight between Bud Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. would do bigger numbers than the trilogy fight between Triple G and Canelo. I mean, you can't convince me, you can't make me believe that the undisputed welterweight fight is a far bigger fight. I don't see it. So why is it so difficult to come up with the money? I don't know. To me, it just seems as if I don't know if it's a PBC thing. I don't know if it's a Showtime thing, but seems as if they're trying to do everything they could to not give us this particular fight. It's the biggest fight in the sport of boxing. It should be easy to make. You're more than gonna make the money back. I don't see what the issue is. Now I know they're saying that a lot of people have been illegally streaming fights. That Terrence Bud Crawford is, even though he's at the top of many people's pound for pound list, that he's really not a draw like that. But even with that being said, you are going to more than make that money back. In addition to that, in terms of the venue, whether they will fight in Dallas or whether they will fight in Vegas, I don't know if that's another hurdle or stumbling block or whatever the case may be. However, even with that being said, to me, it should be an easy fight to make. It's the biggest fight in the sport of boxing. It's it is the biggest fight in the sport of boxing. And in terms of like top 5 fights I would want to see, it's at the top of the list. So it should be easy to make. That would be a fight I would be more than willing to pay for. Wouldn't stream it. And I think that's another issue in the sport of boxing. The reason people illegally stream so many fights is because as boxing fans, we really can't get the fights that we want to see. Think of every big fight that's been on the horizon. None of those fights have come to fruition. The last, I probably say big fight, undisputed fight, was when David Haney fought against George Kambosos Jr. in Australia for the undisputed lightweight title. But aside from that, undisputed fights, especially marquee undisputed fights, are really few and far in between. They are hard to come by. And I think if as fans we got all the fights we would want, as many fans wouldn't stream those fights. Because if you look at the UFC is much more popular than the sport of boxing, to me, in my estimation. Because everyone I talk to, they talk about different UFC events and so on and so forth. And I think boxing could get that same buzz if, as boxing fans, we got the fights we want to see. And to me, it shouldn't be hard to make. But to me, that seems as if it's asking for too much, or as if it's too much like right for us to get the fights we deserve. So it should be easy to make that fight. And then thereafter, if they want to do a rematch, so on and so forth, cool. If not, you can attach, for Bud, you could attach Charlo to a second fight if he's successful over Spence. In terms of it not being a controversial fight, if Bud clear, I don't think he's going to win, but that's another story. But if he clearly won, then he can get a follow-up fight with Charlo for undisputed at junior middleweight. To me, that would be easy, simple to make. 2 + 2 = 4, but like I said, it seems as if that's difficult to get. And like I said, in terms of not getting as many pay-per-view buys as you should, I think as boxing fans, if we got the fights we wanted, you wouldn't have as many people illegally streaming these particular fights. And in terms of marquee undisputed fights, just to give you an example, when Wilder was the WBC champion and Joshua was unified champion, in terms of making that undisputed fight, it was difficult to make. Now, we did get an undisputed fight between Jamel Charlo and Brian Castano. That's cool. However, we should get undisputed fights in every division. Even like now, if you look at the light heavyweight division with Dimitri Bivol and Arthur Beterbiev, that should be another fight that's easy to make. However, on Blue Blood's channel, shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV, when he interviewed Bob Arum made it clear that that fight is not gonna happen. Even if it's not gonna happen, it's not gonna happen anytime soon. So that's the problem with the sport of boxing. We're not getting the fights we want. Even if you look at Devin Haney is undisputed at lightweight. However, he can't get any of the top lightweights to fight him. Tank doesn't want to fight him. Loma ducked him already, and now that Loma's back from the war, he needs a tune-up fight. Ryan Garcia has accomplished nothing in the sport of boxing, and it really isn't interested in making that fight. So if you just look at the different division, Dev is undisputed at lightweight and can't get any fights. It's hard for us to get the undisputed fight at the welterweight division. Hard to get undisputed at light heavyweight. Canelo is undisputed at junior light heavyweight, super middleweight. He's undisputed super middleweight. However, we should have undisputed in every division, from lightweight all the way up to heavyweight. It should be easy, and I think it would be easier for casual fans to follow the sport of boxing in terms of having a WBA, a WBC, instead of having champions, like multiple champions in each division. If you just had one champion, one undisputed champion in each division, it would be easier to recognize who the champions are. And in addition to that, it would be, I think in my estimation, it would be easy to make marquee fights, because you've always had different promotional companies, different promoters, different networks, so on and so forth. But to me, I think some of these fights will be easy to make, and you would have more fan interest in a sport of boxing if you just had one champion in each division. Just think about it. If in the NFL you had 4 different champions, and in the NBA you had 4 different champions, in any other sport, if you had 4 different champions, it would be confusing. It would be difficult to follow that particular sport. But it would be easier to follow if you had one champion in each division. But the powers that be, they make it seem as if, as a boxing fan, that's just asking for too much. But that's just my take on a particular topic. Again, like the video, share the video, click the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. Again, it's Coach 767 Sports TV. Shout out to the amazing LDBC. Y'all have a blessed and phenomenal day. I'll catch y'all on the rebound. Peace.